So it's time for the shortlist announcement for the SFF Booktube Awards. I am so happy because some of the books I was absolutely dying to read made it to that list, so I just have to get my copies as soon as possible, or rather by March, in time by March, so I can read it for the 2 months that we have to read. Now, I'm not going to go into that much details about any of these books. I actually do want to do a separate video talking about my thoughts about what books made it to the shortlist and all of that. That would come later, but this is meant to just be a short video talking about the books that made it to the Booktube SFF Awards shortlist, which means these 3 books for each categories are the books you absolutely have to read between March 1st and April 30th before voting kicks off in May. So let us at least read these books so that we can vote with a clear conscience. So I have my phone, I have the shortlist results, and I'm just going to go straight to it. Now, the 3 books that were shortlisted for Best Fantasy are Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. You already know I've read this book. I have thoughts, but anyway, so there's Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. There's The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Yes! 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 Okay, oh my god, like, you all don't know how happy I am. Yes, I'm going to be reading this between March and April. I cannot wait. Okay, so Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and finally The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I also want to read that book. I don't have a copy yet. I have to buy a copy soon. I want to read that book physically just because of the way I've been told Erin Morgenstern writing is. So I'm definitely very anticipating reading that. And I signed up. I'm going to be one of the judges for Best Fantasy. So I'm definitely going to be reading those 3 books to, you know, come up with my final, like, my vote for what will win. Okay, so the next category is Best Science Fiction, and we have 3 books that are nominated. I'm not judging for science fiction, so I'm not one of the judges, but I am actually intrigued. I'm actually pick up these books just so that I can have an idea. So there's Recursion by Blake Crouch, there's Gideon the Knight by Tamsin Moore, and there's a memory called Empire by ARKADY Martine. The only of these 3 books, I've heard of Recursion because I think it was for Magical Readathon, right? I think so. It was for the Magical Readathon, and G picked it as one of her reads. She was reading it with Cody, so that's why I heard of Recursion, and I don't think either of them really liked that book. I'm not sure, but anyway, I've heard of Recursion. I have definitely heard of Gideon the Knight by Tamsin Moore, and I've never heard of a memory called Empire, and now I'm intrigued. And then there's Best Debut, and the nominees for that, by the way, I'm judging Best Debut, so I'm really excited about that. The shortlist for Best Debut are The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Arlo, which I have heard about this book and I need to read it. I think I might actually just was it one of the books for Book of the Month? I think I might add it as an add-on if it is. So there's The 10,000 Doors of January, there's a memory called Empire by ARKADY Martine, and finally Gideon the Knight by Tamsin Moore. So those are the 3 books that were shortlisted for Best Debuts. And then there's Best YA, which is of course a category I'm certain nobody's surprised, but I'm going to be judging Best YA. And there's The Wicked King by Ollie Black. Yes, this though, unlike the others, okay, there's one more category that also got 4. This got 4 nominations. So we have The Wicked King by Ollie Black, Starside by Brandon Sanderson, which now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, fuck, which means I have to get both Skyward and Starside because I've not read either of the books. So I'm going to have to get both books in time to read. There's Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, which is another book that I carried over. I read the first chapter, something came up, I couldn't finish. That was when I felt ill, but I read the first chapter, I couldn't finish it, so now I can finally finish Sorcery of Thorns. You all know how much I loved An Enchantment of Ravens last year, so I'm definitely excited to finally get to Sorcery of Thorns. And The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. Yeah! Oh my god, I can't wait to be reading. You all know how much I love that book. Oh my god, I love that book. Okay, for Best Middle Grade Fantasy / Science Fiction, these are the 4 books that were shortlisted. There's Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. There's Dragon Pearl by you and he. Dragon Pearl made it. I'm so proud. There's Dead Voices by Catherine Arden, and there's Sai and Gabby Break the Universe by Carlos Hernandez. And that title sounds so intriguing. I might just pick it up. Because I want to know how they broke the universe. And then there's the final category, the shortlist for Best Short. There's The Test by Sylvia Nouvelle. There's To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers, and finally This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El Motar. So these are all the shortlisted books for 2020 Booktube SFF Awards. I am so excited. Let me know down in the comments down below if any of the books you nominated made it to the shortlist. Let me know which of these books on the shortlist you're looking forward to reading in March/April. Let me know, drop them down in the comments down below. But that is this video. If you liked it, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Share this video, let other people know about the Booktube SFF Awards. Let us get to reading in time, because March will soon be here and we have 2 months to get as much reading of these books done as possible. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, check out my other videos. If you do like my content, please subscribe. It totally does help grow my channel. And if you do decide to subscribe, click on that notification bell so you can know the minute I have a new video go up. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and I'll see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye.